Hi there, this is also with a new process video. Today I'll be making a page with photos from a theatre visit. And we went to Oscar's Theatre in Stockholm while we were there, and we saw The Foreigner by Larry Hsu, and in Swedish it's called Come Igen Charlie, and it was hilarious from the first minute. We actually had pain in our faces when we went from the theatre because we had been laughing so much, and I must say that's a really good mark or critique for a comedy play. So it was worth all the money we had to pay to get those tickets. It was very expensive in my opinion, but it was totally worth it. And I took a couple of photos from the theatre hall while we were waiting for the play to start. I couldn't take any photos during the show, of course, but I took photos afterwards when the ensemble were thanking the audience for the huge applause. So I have these three photos. I am building this page onto another of those Daisy D papers from my stash. I thought it fitted this theatre hall perfectly with the red and the goldish yellow. And I'm framing the page with just a couple of strips of black cardstock. I'm cutting the strips at an angle to form corners that look a bit like a frame. This video will be the first where I use the Fraps program that I bought. Fraps is a screen capturing program where you actually can film what's happening on your computer screen, and I love it. It's very easy to use. It cost me a couple of dollars, but I think it was totally worth it, and it will very much improve my process videos, since I'll be able to show what I'm making on the Cameo. So today I'll be making the two titles with my Cameo, and I will start by just opening the Silhouette program and press the little A at the left there. It's the text tool, and then I write my title, just placing the text box where I want it on the screen, and I select the text, and to the right there I'm able to choose the text style. And for this title I'll be using a font called Heineken, just like the beer. I press elsewhere on the screen and come back to the textbook and just press once. Now I get those corners there, the corner boxes, and by pulling them I can make the text larger. By pulling the corner ones, I can the ratio of the box is kept like the one like it was from the beginning. Now I choose the text tool again, and I make another title, and this one will be a script font. The font is called Brandboll, and I really think it's Swedish because it's our version of the baseball. And I do just like with the first title. I make it into the size that I want it to be, and then I go up to the object menu, and under modify I select weld, and that effect will make this font into one piece. I press the blade button in the right corner and select plain cardstock. I look at the blade setting and I press send to silhouette. So this is pretty much the work that I make for all the titles I cut, and I think after having done it a couple of times it's really simple. And I just adjust my blade setting to the one that is shown in the box for the kind of material that I've chosen. For this page I'm using glitter paper from American Crafts. It's called POW, and it has I really love this paper. It's very easy to work with, and the shine is just perfect, and no glitter comes off, so something that I really recommend. I think they have even colored other colors, so gold isn't the only one available. It's called POW. And here is my cutouts, and I'm just peeling them off the sticky mat. And it's rather easy with this first title, and the one that says Oscarsteatern, the Oscar Theatre. It's a bit more tricky, so I just peel the mat off from the cardstock, and it works much easier. And the title is the piece left on the mat. If I hadn't made the part with the weld, I wouldn't have gotten this into one piece. It would have been letter by letter, just like the first title. So weld is something that's really nice to use when you're making script titles, and I think this is very easy to work with. You see, I get it into one piece, and it's evenly spaced, just or it's spaced just like it should be, and very easy. And that the script also gives a very special feel to the whole page. You couldn't have done that in any other way. I think cutting that by hand would have been just plain stupid. No, of course not stupid, but it would have been an awful lot of work. I have placed my photos without giving it a lot of thought, so I need to come back and do it again, and just try different arrangements there. And I have a frame with a smile, it says there, and I didn't like it in white, so I decided to color it black. And I just took one of those journaling markers that I have, and I painted it. Since it was had only a thin border, it was possible just to use a pen. If it had been larger, I think that I would used ink or paint, but the paper was kind of thin, so I couldn't use a very wet medium, but the pen worked fine. My journaling for this page will be in that frame, and I'll be writing about the ensemble and the theatre and what we thought about the play, so just normal journaling stuff. And I wanted it to be readable, so I used a yellow piece of cardstock to write on, and I just used the frame as a guide, and wrote first before I adhered the frame to the cardstock. I like to be a bit safe like that, and especially since I didn't want to ruin that frame by gluing it on too early and make a mess. I'd like to mention, before I forget about it, where I get my fonts. I download them at a free website called dafont.com, and it's been around for years, and I love it. It's like almost like a community where people upload their new fonts, and they are free to use for personal use, and they have pretty much any font that you could wish for. So they are also sorted into different categories, and it's really easy to find the kind of style that you are looking for. So I totally recommend that you visit dafont.com to spice up your font selection and your titles for your layouts. Now I have a corner left on this page, and I wanted to use that classic theatre masks, the happy face and the sad face, for comedy and tragedy, and I wanted to make them myself. And first I wanted to cut them on my silhouette, but that would have been more problem than just drawing them and cutting them out with a knife. So I drew the shape of the mask, and then to make a template, and then I traced it onto black and white paper, and I just hand drew the faces and the mouth and the eyes. I got my craft knife and cut out the details, and I'm really pleased with this. You get a long way by just looking at pictures online and come up with easy designs to draw yourself, and also cut out and place on layouts. So I thought this was fun, and just because I have the silhouette, I don't want to forget the easy paper crafting alternatives, because I have made these kind of embellishments for such a long time. I don't want to forget about this option in my paper crafting. So after having cut out those masks, I grabbed some twine to make the kind of the ribbons holding the masks in place, because I like that version of the theater masks best, and I chose just a black and a white thread, and I glue it on the back side of the masks, putting on way too much glue, but I got it to work. And those two masks will be put onto foam dots, and they'll be pretty much the only embellishment on this page. And I'm happy with that, because the photos are quite big, and I also have those really sparkly and big titles. The title of the play and the theater that we went to. Even the frame with the journaling is a bit like an embellishment. I'm pleased with how this page turned out, and I think that it will always make me remember how fun we had this evening at the theater. Here is the finished page and some close-ups. I hope that you enjoyed this process video with the new section with the cameo, and I'll plan to improve it even more in the future. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, come back soon. This is Åsa. Bye!